Hello and happy Monday out there. Thanks for tuning in for another edition of Hoops Talk. Today is Monday, January 6th. Happy Monday, first and foremost. Hope you have a great week out there. I'm your host, Mike DuPont. Thanks for tuning in, whatever channel, whatever outlet you might be following along, on Instagram at Mike Dup, on Facebook at Mike DuPont II, or on YouTube. Thanks for following along. Don't forget to like and subscribe at Mike is Kinda Funny. Let's just dive right in. We won't recap last night's NBA action. Instead, we'll take a look 50,000-foot view at the NBA standings, starting with the Eastern Conference, just to go through and review really quickly. Looking at the Eastern Conference, at the top of the conference, it'll be no surprise. The defending MVP has this team sitting atop the Eastern Conference, not only the Eastern Conference, but Milwaukee Bucks have a 32-5 record, 32 wins, 5 losses. That's good enough for the best record in the NBA, not only the Eastern Conference. The Bucks are in action tonight. They've got a rematch, another game with the Spurs. They met the Spurs last week. They take on the Spurs tonight in San Antonio. Number 2 in the Eastern Conference, the Boston Celtics currently sit second at 25-8. They're in action tonight as well against the Washington Wizards in Washington. Sitting third, a bit of a surprise maybe. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Maybe it's not so surprising to you. If it's not, I'd love to hear why. What might have been the early precursors for you heading into the season. But the Miami Heat sit third in the Eastern Conference standings at 26-10, led by Jimmy Butler and a host of rookies doing well right now. The Miami Heat sitting at 26-10, third in the Eastern Conference. They're not in action tonight. At fourth, the Toronto Raptors, 24-12, good enough for fourth. The defending champions, good enough for fourth in the Eastern Conference without Kawhi Leonard. They're also off tonight. Sitting at fifth, no surprise in their current slump. I guess it is a bit of a surprise if you were looking at where they should have been when the mock standings came out and the season started. But on the current slide that they're on right now, it's no surprise to find the Philadelphia 76ers sitting fifth in the Eastern Conference standings at 23-14. A very disappointing, underperforming 23-14. They are in action tonight. We'll talk about them a little bit more later, or maybe not, but they are in action tonight against Oklahoma City Thunder on NBA TV. The Oklahoma City Thunder are hot. We talked about them yesterday if you tuned in for Sunday's edition of Hoops Talk. Oklahoma City Thunder currently on a 5-game winning streak, and they've also won 9 of their last 10 games. The 76ers are on, I believe, a 4-game losing skid, looking to snap that tonight when they take on the Thunder on NBA TV. That's a 6 o'clock tip. Moving over to the Western Conference standings. Atop the Western Conference, they got a win last night. The Los Angeles Lakers, 20 blocks in the win. How about that? Were you impressed by that? Love to hear from you. Love to hear your thoughts in the comments, however you might be following along on Instagram at Mike Dup, on Facebook at Mike DuPont II, or on YouTube. Don't forget to like and subscribe at Mike is Kinda Funny. We'd love to hear your thoughts on any channel. Tell us all what you thought about the Lakers' win last night. Were you impressed by their 20 blocks? Did you think it was a little surprising maybe that JaVale McGee had to be administered a drug test after he turned in 6 blocks in 20 minutes in the Lakers' win last night? That JaVale McGee was drug tested after the win. The Lakers did set an NBA record with 20 blocks. I'm sorry, a franchise record with 20 blocks in a game. Has not been accomplished, I believe, in the last 20 years. Also in second place in the Western Conference standings, they are in action tonight. The Denver Nuggets, we will talk about them later. They are in action tonight taking on the Atlanta Hawks. The Denver Nuggets currently sit second in the Western Conference standings at 24-11. Tied with them, also with the same record, the Houston Rockets. They're off tonight, so the Denver Nuggets have a chance to claim that second spot outright. But the Houston Rockets are in action. The Houston Rockets are off tonight. Excuse me. They do share the same record today, right now, at 24-11. But that could change by tonight, by this evening. And underneath the Houston Rockets, I guess this would be third place, as Houston and Denver share that second place tied together. In third place, the Clippers sit currently with the record of 26-12. They are off tonight as well. The Utah Jazz underneath them with the record of 23-12. The Jazz are in action tonight. Looking at Vegas, for some of our action tonight. We did talk about the Denver Nuggets and they're in action. They do have a game. They face the Atlanta Hawks tonight. Looking at Vegas, Vegas has the line at 220 points. If you're looking to me for advice, I would suggest that you take the over. If you're looking at that game, that is one of the lower lines for tonight. And just for a little bit of a factoid for you, maybe give you some confidence in your bet. The Denver Nuggets have averaged 116 points per game over their last 5 games. Again, the Nuggets are scoring 116 points across their last 5 contests. The line tonight is 220. I would advise you to take the over if you can get it. Also in Vegas tonight, the Indiana Pacers and the Charlotte Hornets are an interesting buy. The line on that one is 208. The line on that is 208 points. The Pacers have averaged 110 points over their last 5 games. The Charlotte Hornets are streaking as well. Again, it's no surprise. I would advise you to take the over if you could find it. Again, 208 points. That's a pretty low line if you can find it. Again, I would recommend that the Indiana Pacers, 110 points per game over their last 5. They are without Malcolm Brogdon tonight, but they've been without him for a while. I would advise you to seek the over on that 208 if you could find it. Feel pretty comfortable about it. Again, thanks for tuning in this week. Love to hear your thoughts and comments moving forward, especially regarding those NBA standings. Have a blessed week.